Hello and welcome to Hold My Popcorn, where we make fun of the good movies and trash the bad ones. I'm Max Seeley over in Nashville, and in Boston we got Tim Begin. How are you, Timmy?
Doing great. This movie's way better than Temple of Doom. Very happy about that, but dreading the fact that we have to do the fourth one.
That's next week, though. We don't have to worry about that right now.
Right.
And over in Northern California, we got John Anoshak. How are you, buddy?
I'm sweaty. I'm aggravated. I'm prickly. But I liked this movie so much that it just... I feel it in my groats, Max. How are you?
I'm great. Wife and I celebrated our anniversary last night by watching the Tom Hanks Mr. Rogers movie and then How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, which is so much better than what we typically have been able to do, which is travel to several European countries.
Oh, far better.
Yeah,
far better.
I mean, who needs to drink wine in a Paris park or, walk the Charles Bridge in Prague when you can celebrate your anniversary just watching Matthew McConaughey and seeing what his hair looked like before he got plugs.
Listen, Max.
Takeout food.
Listen, Max. Europe's full of bunch of fucking socialists.
Mm-hmm.
This is saving you. This is saving you from a life of socialism.
It's also, like, Max, you gotta... If you're going to live an unhealthy vacation lifestyle, then you should consume your sodium, cholesterol, and definitely trans fats, all U.S., America made.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Good point.
These days, man, you got to focus. You got to focus on the homeland.
Cool.
So I think you got that.
All right, well, now we are on to week 3 of our Indiana Jones miniseries, which means we watched the last good movie in the franchise, in Indiana Jones, and The Last Crusade from the year 1989, directed by Steven Spielberg and starring Harrison Ford, Sean Connery, and Allison Doody. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like this movie could have been. I feel like this movie could have just been called Indiana Jones: Back to Basics, because it's pretty much just Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Right.
It is. It's the same movie, except
Indiana Jones, Angry Kisses.
Uh-huh. So I've been whisper screaming this for many episodes, but this is the first movie where truly I can say that every time that Indy hooks up with this blonde Nazi chick, who's also a doctor, got to give her respect, PhD.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But she sucks on his ear, and that is just suggestive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Holy fucking shit. But also violently sexual.
She kind of reminds me of the Bond girl from GoldenEye. Like the crazy one who like gets off on being punched in the face.
Oh, who strangles people with her thighs.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, Ivanka Trump.
Yeah, precisely.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry. Hey, cut that out, Max. We're
sorry. Political.
Here.
Whoa.
Yeah. Send that guy who wrote that comment the first fucking 15 minutes of this show. Welcome back to Chuck Todd.
By the way, Tim, this movie is written by the same guy who wrote Lethal Weapon 2 and 3.
Well, that's why I was so good.
Boom.
Oh.
Should we get into it?
Let's do it.
Sweet. Movie opens up in 1912 Utah with a young Boy Scout Indiana Jones, played by River Phoenix, coming across a gang of raiders who discover a priceless artifact that belongs in a museum. So Indy, being Indy, decides to steal the cross and go on this elaborate chase that involves horses, cars, a train full of animatronic circus animals, and snakes.
Real snakes.
Ooh.
Well, damn.
River Phoenix took a bath in real snakes.
Shit.
Yeah,
that was gross.
That was really fun how they tied in where his phobia came from. The entire time I was like, how did it happen? How did it happen? How did it happen? Oh, you fell in a snake pit. Whoa! Like, just, all right, I get it.
Yeah,
those are stars.
Like a 10-minute long origin story. In reality.
Yeah.
It's basically like, how did he get his look? The cool dude who was stealing Native American artifacts. How was he afraid of snakes? Fell into a bunch of snakes. Why is he such a weirdo? His dad hates him.
I feel like this was Spielberg, like after his rebound. Like in rebound, I mean relationships and sexual relationships. He was able to get laid again after like the bad breakup or divorce, whatever. Jesus. And then he paid attention to little details. Like they even gave him in this where the scar comes on right underneath his lip with the whip when he fucks it up the first time. And it's like, oh, wow. Little details. He pulled it back. He had a lot to atone for since the last movie. And we're not even talking about his friends asking for, virginal child brides, but he had a lot to atone for.
He made up for it on this one. This is probably my favorite one.
I think so, too.
Movies.
I think so, too.
Yeah. All right. And then Indy Houdini's himself out of the train, runs home only to hand the cross back over to the bad guys, but he does get his trademark fedora from the Raiders, so at least he's got that going for him. And then transition into 1938 on the ocean with Indy trying to steal the same cross back from the same ivory-suited villain, but then explosions as Indy escapes with the cross while everyone else dies.
Yeah.
My wife was like, the second that scene starts up, she's like, the villain the guy in the white suit was terribly cast. I'm like, don't worry, he blows up. She goes, what? And the boat blows up, explodes. Like,
you don't need to look at him.
Yeah,
terribly cast, but wonderfully dressed. I mean,
indeed.
Buzzinga.
Always has a pocket square. Oh my gosh.
And
how was he walking in the desert in bright white and has no dust on him? I want to know the secret.
Because he hires someone to keep the dust off, and that's the only way to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Also, I'm such a big fan. This harkens back to old America, right? That belongs in a museum. That Native American artifact doesn't belong in the place it was buried. It belongs in some weird place that it has no connection to, so that white people can look at it. Totally agree with that.
I just think it's strange that it was from Cortez, apparently. So the Spanish. I didn't realize that the Spanish made it up to Utah. I don't think anybody but absolute religious fanatics that made up their own religion almost could make it to Utah.
Right. I was just going to say, it was the guy who invented Mormonism brought it up there.
Yeah.
You know?
Came with the golden plates.
Yeah.
A little bit later, Indy meets rich museum donor Walter Donovan, who says that he hired Indy's dad to find the Holy Grail, and he was last seen in Venice before he disappeared. So now it's up to Indy to find his father and the Grail.
Here's a lesson that you take from Indiana Jones. Never trust rich New Yorkers. We all know they're going to fuck you over in the end. George Steinbrenner. Also the bankers. Just across the board, the bankers.
And the oil people.
Yep.
Which I think Donovan was. I believe he was like an oilman or something. That's where he got all of his money.
Okay, so that's where he got his wealth from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're digging somewhere, and then they found a bunch of shit. So
also,
yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say in the scene where, he basically convinces Indy that this isn't bullshit, tells him about his father and the whole thing, and he has this ancient, handwritten, painstakingly transcribed, like by a monk, tome or copy of whatever religious text out of Christianity or who knows. And the first thing Indy does is touch it. You don't touch 1,000-year-old books. Also, shame on the wonderful art collector who's sending Indy on this goose chase for just keeping it, outside of a glass case. What the fuck?
This actor, the only thing I've ever seen him in was Star Wars. He was in The Empire Strikes Back. He was the commander on the AT-AT in the snow that Luke blows up with his lightsaber. Never seen him in anything else besides that. All right, well, Indy receives his father's journal, which also includes all of his life work, as he and Marcus head to Venice to meet with the Hutterian, Dr. Elsa Schneider.
Schneider.
Elsa. I'll tell you what. The Germans didn't have it all wrong. You know what I mean?
Okay, Tim, we have to put you on the spot. Who do you prefer from, South Africa in Lethal Weapon or Indiana Jones and the German doctor?
Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put these three in order because I'm going to include whatever her name was, Kate from the last
Kate
movie.
Capshaw.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
It goes Minka from Lethal Weapon 2 because you saw her boobs. It goes Kate
that's legit.
from Temple of Doom because you kind of saw her boobs. And then it goes Elsa because you really didn't see her boobs. So that's the way it goes. That's the order.
Huh.
Yeah.
All right, then you get the treasure hunt in the library, which down below they find a rat-infested catacomb as well as the next clue engraved in one of the three brother knights' tomb. But it's a trap, and these mysterious men light the entire catacombs on fire.
With those, like, what are those called? Those hats called fezzes or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
I
hats?
love
Which
the red, like,
Little red
kind of
hats.
conical ones.
Yeah. The solo cups on their head.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, fez,
okay.
yeah.
Okay, feds.
Love those hats. Also like the fact that the catacomb was filled with gasoline
Yep.
for some
Well,
reason.
I think Ford, Indy says that too. He's like, what did he say about it? Is like, this is full of petroleum? He's like, I should just stay down here and I'll make I'll be a millionaire.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Gosh.
Yeah.
But then he
says
goes
something
swimming
like
in
that.
it later.
Yep. And then he jumps
It still doesn't quite make sense how he can just dip his makeshift torch with a femur bone into it, some cloth, and light it on fire, and therefore not also light the entire tunnel on fire.
I know.
He's so good at making torches.
He's really good at making torches. Exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah. To your point. Yeah.
Great improviser.
But Schneider, super hardcore. Compared to the last movie, here we are. She's climbing over rats. She's in a flammable environment. Not one scream until, like, some shit crawls through her hair and across her neck, and I'd scream too. It would be rough.
Yeah, never complains either.
No.
She's 100% on board. She's like, all right, where are we going? Let's go.
First checkbox. She might be a Nazi.
Second checkbox. DTF.
Yeah. Wasn't even DTF. It was basically, I'm slamming my face into yours.
Well,
Whether
This
you
is
like it or not.
going to happen.
Sean Connery checked those both off. He's like, I'm good.
Oh, my God.
We'll get into that later on. But
I
yeah.
can't wait
The
for
Last
that.
Crusade.
I love it.
Oh, yeah. We'll talk about that later.
Oh, that's so good.
I also always laugh though at just how much Indy loves Venice because he crawls out of the sewer just like covered in petroleum and like dead rats, and he's like scares all these restaurant patrons out of the way, and then he just goes, Venice. Just like looks around all romantic.
Yeah.
That was the funniest part of the entire portion of this series shot in Venice, where like he says it, I'd say 4 times. First time he gets there, like right after that, and later and later and later, and he just
He's
keeps
fucking-
saying it. It's just wonderful. Yeah. Exactly. It's the funniest motif. Just even when he's pissed off. Venice.
Venice. So then you get the boat chase that ends with Indy learning that his father's being held in a castle on the Austrian-German border. And I already forget the name of those hats, Tim. The red-headed men. Fezzes.
Pheasants. So we're going to call them pheasants. That's what it's going to be.
Yep,
from
the
now on.
pheasants.
Okay.
All right, so the pheasants people, they're protectors of the Grail. All right, after this, Indy finds Elsa in his room ransacked. So Indy then ransacks that pussy.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Oh, God. He's like, I hate you. She's like, I hate you. Blah, 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 making out. And then she's like, I want to tongue your ear clean. Guarantee Indy doesn't use Q-tips either.
Still had all the petroleum in there.
Yeah. Nah. Most definitely not. Nah.
Well, we all know
He
the
likes-
key to a man's heart is through sucking his ear.
It's not as lethal as going straight through his chest, as we've learned. So it's the key to my heart.
Underrated physical humor by Harrison Ford once again, because he's acting all macho, kissing her, then she kisses him back like much more aggressively than him, and he's just like kind of taken aback, like his eyes are open. He's like, "Whoa, Jesus, lady, easy."
Settle down.
Venice.
Venice.
Then in Germany, Indy tries to infiltrate this castle disguised as a pompous Scottish art dealer, which does not go well. So instead, he just backhand slaps the butler unconscious. Then Indy learns that the castle is infested with Nazis.
Bam, bam, bam.
I think this was a real castle.
Yeah.
It is.
Straight
And
up.
then the Von Trapps came running through, like, shh, don't tell them we're here.
Goodbye.
Actually,
Farewell.
you
Go fuck
you can tell
yourself.
Elsa that I'm
Goodbye.
Let Elsa know. That's the only one.
It was like Castlevania. I was half expecting it to go. I mean, there is a moment of machine gun later, but literally for heads to be cut off, faces melted, legs just torn off for no big reason. But it was Indiana Jones. But Wolfenstein could have been fun.
For like a castle that had that many Germans in it, presumably like doing on those big, maps that they were like,
Radars, yeah.
yeah, like essentially running a war from there. You could just drive right up to it. Like there was no one stopping you. That's crazy. The only guy that could deny you entrance was a butler.
Yeah, a lot of their super secret stuff was on like the German-Austrian border, just because it was so hard to get to. Because you would have to literally like fly through because they had like all the other areas closed off. But the God damn, I've got the name of the castle that's in Germany, right near Austria. I went to it a couple of years ago.
What, like Buchendorf or something?
It's the one that looks like the like the Cinderella castle. It's pretty much the castle they based the Disney castle off of.
Eagle's Nest.
No, that was Hitler's house. But
well done, Tim.
Close, Tim, because this castle is where they hid all of their priceless art that they stole.
Eagle's Claw. I'm gonna get it. We're gonna go through all the eagles, and then I'll start on Hawk.
The Talon. The Talon Tower.
Dude, they just stole all the antiquities from the entire world.
Yep. Well, later on, too, like that Donovan, he's like, here's a bunch of treasure and trophies that were donated by people of Germany. It's like, quote unquote, donated.
Yeah. Donated.
Yeah.
It's also, it's easy to forget, or at least for me, like not speaking for everybody, but that just the fact that the world isn't at war with Germany.
Right.
And Italy, for that matter, at this point. It's just like Nazis. Everyone's at war every time we see them,
Who really counts the Italians? You know what I mean?
So going back into the movie, this is also when you're introduced to Sean Connery after Indy Spider-Man's his way into his room.
Do they teach whip work like that, where you can just like shimmy, yeah, like across like a whole thing with a whip and just make it to another window like that, like in a video game?
You learned that back in the Boy Scouts back in that day, man.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, they taught you the whip work back then, and then they kind of realized that the counselors weren't doing it for the right reasons. But you learned how to use a whip back then.
And how to get out of one.
Yeah.
So going to the Sean Connery here too. Is this character like the best sidekick in movie history?
Definitely.
He's so fucking good in this.
No, he was amazing. Is he the best? No.
Who would you say is a better sidekick than him?
I mean, in movie history, like movie history.
In movie, like action movies, when you got the sidekick that's like right next to him.
Man, yeah. I wish they'd just do a Robin, because everything points back to Robin. Is always like,
well, that's
historically.
The thing, though. But it's like the Robin in this movie is James Bond. Like that's just the best Robin you can possibly have.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, he's literally fucking the same people that the main character's fucking. Like he's doing pretty good for himself.
He's a video game character, I mean, he's a walking anti-aircraft gun, and he can lay pipe. He is the full package. So
yeah,
understood.
Yes.
I agree. Understood. Okay.
Their dynamic is great because they
Great
hate
chemistry.
each other. Yeah. It's like they don't hate each other, but they're like bickering. It's almost like Harrison Ford and Sean Connery are sort of like son and father who have like a rocky kind of relationship but love each other. Like it's like they are that. They're fantastic.
It's almost like brothers in a weird way.
Right.
Yeah,
that's a good point. I could see
Yeah,
that.
because they're estranged.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, in real life, they're only like 12 years apart.
Really?
Whoa.
That's
no.
hilarious. Well, Sean Connery
Oh my
must have drank a
gosh.
lot of scotch.
Yeah. He's got city miles on his ass. Yeah.
Yeah. He was definitely drunk on scotch that time. He talked to Barbara Walters about hidden women. So, yes, I'm on my second bottle of Macallan. Come in, I can get interviewed.
I'm surprised he didn't fucking wander onto the set when Indy was getting his shit rocked by Barbara Streisand and just be like, "You mean next? We're next."
Get Barbara over there.
Everybody else was there, for fuck's sake. Like,
Not wrong. All right. And then this big bad Nazi holds Elsa at gunpoint, but it's a trap. And oh my God, the blonde-haired, blue-eyed Elsa is a Nazi. Also, she fucked Indy and his dad.
Oh my God. This movie should be entitled, I lost it. I had a line for this. God damn it. I had a line for this.
oh, fuck,
Go
Tim.
on, Max. Go on.
It's okay.
Max.
We'll come back to it. If it's
We will.
really good, like think of it later and he'll splice it in.
All right.
But
Yeah.
this is probably my favorite scene of the entire series. It's just the bewildered look on Indy's face, and then like the cheeky smile and like the double take that Connery gives Indy when he knows that she was a Nazi and he didn't trust her, but he was still fucking her anyway. It's amazing. Well, she spoke German in her sleep. I didn't trust her. Did you trust her?
I could just see a Scotsman's like rationality though. Like, what? We're in at war. It's a big deal. I don't understand.
3D chess. It's like,
3D chess. Jeez.
yes, I know you're a Nazi. I know I'm old and you're just trying to take advantage of me sexually. Don't care. I'm still going to fuck you. Great.
He is the most intelligent character in the entire series, hands down.
Yeah. I mean, you got
Period.
Work smart, not hard.
Yeah.
That's what he's doing.
You know what? And it's amazing because he had enough. Okay. Here's my argument. He had enough gas in the tank to lay down the Nazi chick one time. And then he realized that it would take 2 laydowns for him to be able to get the information he needed to save the world and save the Holy Grail. So he got his son to do it for him. So once again, 3D chess. Boom.
Yep. Anything you want to comment on, Tim?
No, I forgot it.
Okay. All right. Then you find out that Donovan's working with the Nazis and Marcus has the missing pages that will lead them to the Grail, with Indy saying that Marcus has a 2-day start on the Nazis, has friends all over the world, speaks 12 languages, knows every local custom, and he will blend in and disappear. As you cut to Marcus panicking in this busy street saying, "Does anyone here speak English or ancient Greek?"
Funniest scene in all the Indiana Jones movies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Whenever Marcus is in this movie. I love that they changed Marcus's character too. Like he was competent in the first movie, and this one he's just like, oh, just make him a fucking idiot.
Yeah, he is an idiot.
Can't
It's
even
hilarious.
like tripping on his own shoelaces.
Yep.
It's the funniest depiction of like an old school, like 1930s, British Empire sunset era kind of a thing, walking around in another country with people who don't look like him or speak English. Just, hello, nobody understands a word I'm saying, do you? He's got like a literal fedora and like, a dinner coat in his other hand and his leather shoes. Like, oh dear God. Ah.
He doesn't know how to handle the all like the merchants either, because he's literally answering every single person. He's like, no, I'm not thirsty. Fish have sex in that. Oh no, I'm a vegetarian. Thank you very much. Like every single person that's coming up to him.
Hospitality dictates.
Where am I right now? Egypt? Oh no, this won't do. I'll redraw the border.
You said there's oil here.
This is now the British Republic of Egypt. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
But then, I mean, this is just one funny scene after another, because then you got our good friend Sala trying to distract the Nazis so Marcus can escape, but Marcus is just too dumb to realize it. He just has like his, he's just there like open mouthed smiling when he like literally runs into a Nazi truck.
Yep.
I liked how at least this division of Germany's army they were having a good time. They put a little palm tree above the swastika. I was like, okay, all right,
Yeah.
this is the partying branch.
Yeah, they wanted to make you know that they're chill guys.
Yeah.
Don't worry too much about, the genocide or the world takeover. We're just chill guys. Come over, have a beer with us. Maybe we'll kill you, maybe we won't. Who knows?
Got a lot of hard work until we can get that genocide over here, guys.
Yeah, we got a long way to go here. And now when I say long way, I mean a good 6 months.
But like this going back to that scene too, Tim, like you can just tell, like you can see the Lethal Weapon writing in that scene when he's like, when he's got the newspaper, he's like, oh yes, my papers, run. Got it right here, run.
Yeah.
And then he just like holds the newspaper up and just punches the guy straight through it.
Right.
That's something
It's
that Riggs
great.
would do.
Definitely.
Riggs move.
That would be, that he would be like, Riggs would be saying that to Murtaugh, run, Raj, run. I'm getting out of here. I'm getting out of here. Oh, my
Run,
God.
Raj. Get out of here.
Oh, my God. When are we going to do Lethal Weapon again?
Only if we can cover the show. We can re-release it if we can convince the studios to do a re-release thing like Jaws, right?
Yeah.
Dude. Yes.
I'll try to get
Tim.
some Lethal Weapon copies.
Get them.
There we go.
Get them, Tim.
All right, well, then after this, Connery accidentally burns down part of the castle as the Jones boys escape via motorcycle and head to the book-burning Berlin, where they get the diary back as well as an autograph from Hitler.
Which is a coveted. I mean, that's probably worth a lot of money nowadays. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You made the classic rookie mistake, though. It was in pencil.
Yep.
Yeah.
And, you know. But that was the most surreal portion of the movie Lisa didn't quite, wait, what? Like, after it happened, that was Hitler? Like, yeah, it's Indiana
That was
Jones.
actually Hitler.
Yeah, of course.
It was really him.
That was really him. Yep.
The girl's real.
I'm going to argue, though, that this is probably one of, like, he's not on the top 5 list of casted Hitlers, though.
No. So he actually played another character in Raiders of the Lost Ark. He was the Nazi submarine captain.
Oh.
No, I got you.
And also, guys, the guy who played Himmler, just in like a little cameo, was the same dude from Raiders. It was the face melting Nazi.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
Yep.
Hilarious. That is, he does look like Himmler.
He does look like, I think we said that too on that episode.
They're both very sweaty and slimy people.
Just squirrely bastards. That's, just, ugh.
Yeah.
You can see them skittering around and you can hear it too. It's just when they come by. Like, ugh.
Yeah.
Speaking of sweaty, this is when I wanted the full Penny scene with Elsa. Indy just bending her over, right, like in those archways right behind the Nazi rally. Just America ass fucking you. You know what I mean?
In front of like pillars of fire. That's the best part too.
Yep.
In front of the 3-year-old pillar that looks like it's 3,000 years old.
Exactly.
Oh, exactly. The radiates the heat. You sweat. Lubrication's at its perfect point. It's great. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it's a little bit of new and old world right there.
Yeah, exactly. And who doesn't love to fuck in front of the burning of human knowledge? That's always a lot of fun. I love that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
that's
that's
more hard than a book burning.
Yeah.
Celebration.
You guys better settle down. I'm getting a little frisky over here, you know.
Yeah.
Would we consider that a political statement? Should we take that off?
No. Unfortunately, John, I feel like that is a political statement in our. If you don't condone book burning, then you're a liberal elite.
So it's been about 5 minutes in this movie, which means it's about time for another action set piece that starts with Indy dressed in a tiny waiter costume, throwing the evil Nazi colonel out of the Zeppelin. Then they get into a dogfight with the Luftwaffe.
No ticket. Fantastic line. Second funniest line in all of Indiana Jones. However, I feel like the people on the blimp would have probably caught on to his ruse when he said no ticket in English.
In perfect English, and threw out a colonel.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know how they explain that. I don't.
Yeah, it's fine.
Don't have to
Let's
explain. He's just an alpha male.
They needed a reason for them to get into this plane fight, which you get right here with Connery accidentally shooting their own plane down.
Yeah, that's that. It looked like World War I in a nutshell as far as aviation went, but luckily we weren't into World War II yet. Did the Scottish have an air force?
Well, they're part of the United Kingdom, so
Yeah, probably the Royal British Air Force.
Yeah. Oh, indeed. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I love how he lies to Indy though after he blows their tail off with the fucking machine gun. He's like, Indy, what? Like, oh shit! Like,
I'm sorry, son. We've been hit.
They got us.
If he was a real dad, he would have blamed Indy for it. This is your fault.
Fucking move.
This is your fault, son. This is why I drink.
That's why I left you.
Yeah.
Well, he does save the day later on with the help of a flock of seagulls. So you got that going for him.
He's a walking anti-aircraft gun, as I said earlier. It's pretty impressive.
Remembered his Charlemagne.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
The birds in the sky, the sound in the sea. It's weird.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, he saved the day screaming, tuk, 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 running at a bunch of seagulls with a big umbrella, and that saved the day and blew up the Nazi Luftwaffe aircraft. And that was pretty fucking intense, truth be told. Once again, walking anti-aircraft gun. Sean Connery not to be fucked with. Would I get into a knife fight with him? No. He advocates. I don't want to talk about what he advocates.
The interesting thing about seagulls is that you don't have to run at them like a jackass with an umbrella to get them to fly away from you. They'll just do it when you get close to them. So unnecessary on Connery's part. However, fantastic in the movie. I loved it.
50 caliber, I mean, seagulls, for fuck's sake. Like, it's pretty
Kamikaze
intense.
seagulls. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Could you imagine a bunch of seagulls just a banzai! Just screaming, going.
All right, and then a little bit later, you get the tank sequence scene where you think Indy falls off this cliff to his death, but somehow he escapes in the nick of time, and he doesn't even lose his hat.
Nope, of course not. Because it's Indiana Jones.
Thing sewed onto his head. And I like how Sean Connery is about to say, I didn't get to tell him I love him. I didn't get to say what I needed to say. Immediately shows up again, back to the stiff upper lip, British guy.
Yep. And then he goes, all right, let's go.
Yeah. I'm only going to say what I want to say to you when you're dead.
So now you're in the Temple of the Grail where Donovan shoots Papa Jones. Oh, fuck. So Indy is forced to go along on a... Hold on, what the fuck did I say here? I don't know what the fuck I said here. So Indy then has to go through all these booby traps to retrieve the Grail.
It's a gauntlet, and it's super metal. I mean, you got heads rolling off, getting shot off by razor blades. Very intricate, considering it's probably those razor blades that are just lopping heads off and shit have been going for, 2,000 years?
Yeah, they would have had to have lubricated everything. That knight must have been busy. I mean, he had to maintain all that stuff. He's like a millwright.
There for eternity. You gotta do
Yeah.
something.
You know what they called him?
What?
The Jerusalem lubricator.
Yeah, I'm surprised that I didn't just walk into that tomb and it was literally just covered in white. It looked like a Krispy Kreme, Krispy Kreme glazing factory. And he's just sitting there like, about time you got here.
God, I've been waiting long enough.
I've been dry for 200 years.
Which cup is it? It's definitely not the cup that's full of cum.
Yeah, which is all of them.
Not in the least.
But they're all full of cum.
Well,
Exactly.
pick one.
All right. So then Indy reaches the boss level and meets the 700-year-old knight who pretty much asks Indy to kill him so he can take his place.
Yeah.
But then old dirtbag yeah, we can just talk about that if you want.
Covered in cum. Just covered. It's everywhere. It's
I've already came. Just take me.
He painted the cave, okay? It was a whole new shellac, the whole thing. Very flammable, dangerous. It was
And
bad.
he's like, I don't know if this job's really for me. Can I keep the Elsa girl?
Well, I'm 700 years old. I mean, unless women aren't property anymore, then why are you even asking me?
Yeah, for the Middle Ages.
Yeah, but then old dirtbag Donovan struts in and allows Elsa to pick the cup, but it's a trap. And she intentionally picks the wrong cup, and Donovan decays into Prince Philip before he explodes.
Oh my god.
He looks exactly like Prince Philip
He
before
really
his
does.
eyelids, before his eyeballs go into his eye socket.
Yeah. Nazis and pedophiles, they got a lot in common. It's...
They chose poorly.
Poorly. I know, I like that. Just
tell Jeffrey I love him.
I do like the dry British
I'm coming
humor.
for you, Jeffrey. Yep. But old Indy, he chooses the right cup and saves his dad's life.
The one thing that
Yeah.
has always kind of struck me is it's not bad. It's just a little disappointing to me about the movie is that the Grail was actually like the Grail and it did everything that the Holy Grail is supposed to do. Whereas like in every other movie that deals with the Holy Grail, they kind of like you find out at the end, it's like, it's not really a thing. It's really this idea anyways. And I was kind of disappointed that it was just like, oh yeah, it's the Grail and everything that you want it to be is it. That's what it is.
Had restrictions though. You couldn't leave the building with it.
No, that's true. And I don't hate it. It's just a little, I felt like it was a little lazy, but that's just me. I don't really know what I'm talking about. So
you can get the Grail. It's real. You have to go
Right.
through 3 really weird trials, including the weird part where, oh yes, apparently Jehovah doesn't start with the letter J. It starts with I. Only nerds would know that one. Just weird shit. And then you get it. Yeah, you can't leave with it. Although anyone, including Dr. Schneider could have ran out of that place, dude, full speed with that goblet and been fine.
Yeah,
been fine. They would have been fine. Which is a little strange.
Well, that's what Elsa was trying to do.
Yeah, Elsa wanted, but she also wanted Indy. She was torn. She's like, Holy Grail, Indiana Jones's dick, Holy Grail, Indiana Jones's dick. She couldn't choose.
I know what Indy's dick's gonna look like 30 years from now.
Right.
Holy Grail.
She's just gonna pour that. She's gonna pour that Grail water onto that dick.
Or she'll settle for Sean Connery and pour it over his dick, and then.
So, another legitimate question: what would happen if one were to pour Holy Grail water onto your own dick?
Gross chest.
What
hair,
happens?
Bro. Become a fucking.
What happens? It turns into a baby. It just turns into a baby dick. Just like,
Oh my God. No!
No! Damn you, Jesus!
My youthful penis!
Jesus, like, hey man, I ain't fucking. No one else is.
Man, my ass been downgraded. I used to be ketchup, now I'm mustard, motherfucker. This is bullshit. Shit.
He chose Paulie.
He chose Paulie. Never pour one onto thy nuts.
All right, then greedy Elsa crosses a seal with a cup, which causes the entire temple to break in half as she plummets to her death.
So, was the seal some throwback from the editor? Well, let's say Spielberg or somebody going through college, because every school has that myth. If you pass over the seal before you've graduated, you won't graduate in 4 years or whatever the fuck.
Was that a thing? That wasn't a thing where I went to school. Because I'm pretty sure I passed over. I don't think we had a seal. We didn't take it very seriously where I went to school.
Indy swaps places with Elsa, and he's about to fall to his death. But Papa Jones breaks through to him by calling him Indiana instead of Junior, and they escape to safety.
In a very sultry tone, too. Indiana. Oh my God. That would have sent chills down my spine.
Yep, it did send chills down my spine, Tim.
Yep.
Just when you said it, Tim, say it again.
Elsa, you heard Elsa moan from down in the abyss when he said that.
I'm still falling. I haven't stopped falling yet.
Yeah.
I chose poorly. Good thing Connery just drank some of the Jesus juice, and he had enough strength to pull Indy up with like one hand.
So does this mean Indiana Jones and Sean Connery are immortal now?
I think that it's literally the building keeps you mortal.
Immortal.
Like, the second you elite.
I thought it was
immortal.
I thought it like shaved off a few years though, or something. You know what I mean?
Well, they're saying that the other two brothers, like there was three brothers, one of them stayed behind, that guy, and then the other two left, and they all, they died at like 150 years old or like 200 years old or something.
Yeah, so it like
once they left, you need to keep on drinking it.
Oh,
yeah, but like
And
if
then
you
they
drink
couldn't
it,
bring it with them.
that gives you what, like a couple years though, extra kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, wouldn't that be like, oh, okay, you can pour it on you, give you,
Yeah,
you cure your
good,
gunshot or make your penis little. I don't know, but like it's.
Yeah. It's like, do you need to like drink 8 ounces per day, or do you just take a big cup and then you're good for like 200 years?
Oh shit, that's a question for the FDA. I don't know, Max.
Yeah. How much immortality is in the one serving?
let's email Dr. Fauci. Dr.
The thing
Fauci.
is, you'll probably answer.
Yeah.
He would, because he's the best human being we have in the federal government right now.
Dr. Fauci, how much water from the Holy Grail do I need to drink to cure COVID? Okay. I want to be clear about this. Water from the Holy Grail doesn't cure COVID. Okay?
Oh my
What do you
God.
think, Fauci? Fuck you.
Trump's just sitting in the background. Not true.
Lies.
Nope. If
False.
you mix bleach into the water from the Holy Grail, cures COVID.
All my cups are golden. I'm still alive.
yeah, that's a good point. All his cups are
I eat
definitely
McDonald's.
Yeah.
I eat McDonald's twice a day.
Tony, cures taxes, liberalism, all of it. Did I tell you that I brought back incandescent lights? It's the best.
To wrap up the movie, you find out that Indiana got his name from the dog that he had growing up, as our heroes literally ride into the sunset on horseback as you get the perfect ending to this trilogy.
Bam, bam, bam. there. Sean Connery goes back, fucks one of Indiana Jones's girlfriends. Yep.
Bangs Marion.
Yep.
Shia LaBeouf's kid is actually their kid.
Oh my God, be
Fun
hilarious.
fact. I didn't know I had a child. You don't. What are you talking about? It's your father's. Should we get into trivia?
Let's do it.
Can I just stop for a second and
No.
Please. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'll allow it.
All right, thank you, sir. I just want to explain to you both and to the audience how afraid I am to watch the next movie
Oh, boy.
of this series because it's all downhill from here, folks. We're fucked. I haven't seen this for years. I'm scared.
Yeah, I might have made a mistake with my note taking, just putting way too much of the plot in one sentence because we're not going to be able to talk about another good Indiana Jones movie ever again.
Oh.
This is it. We're stuck with this.
Yep.
Fuck.
I would rather watch a Tommy Lee and Pamela Anderson sex tape filmed now.
You know what?
Then-
I'm down for that just for the heavy metal qualities of it. That's brutal.
Dude, they're so old. They're gonna have to fucking like hospital beds.
Dude, you could hear the fucking wrinkles slap together during that
Yeah.
fucking lovemaking. No, I'm fine.
But
Yeah.
I would
brutal.
rather watch that than watch the next Indiana Jones, the Crystal Skull.
Yeah.
Ugh, God.
Yeah. I've definitely watched this one the most from all the movies, and I've seen The Crystal Skull one time, which was in theaters. So,
Same. Yeah, once in
Yeah.
theaters.
trying. Yeah. Oh, boy. All right.
All right,
Should we
cheer
get
us
into
up,
trivia?
Max. Cheer us up.
Time for trivia. Spielberg had the dropout of making both the movie Big and Rain Man to make this movie, which I guess he was pretty disappointed about.
Rain Man, he would have made Rain Man terrible.
I don't know. Spielberg was on a fucking roll back then.
He would have made
Everything
Dustin
he made
Hoffman
was
go
gold.
full retard. And we all know from Tropic Thunder.
Yes,
full
we do.
retard.
Yep.
Never go full. You can't.
Made one the Congressional Medal of Honor. That shit ain't retarded.
Oh my God.
So funny.
Let's see. Yeah, most of the Nazi uniforms in the book burning scene were real uniforms.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Whose collection was that?
Yeah. Was that Lucas's?
No.
Spielberg's?
Yeah. Yeah.
I
don't know.
okay. Tell me I was not onto some shit when we were with Andy, and I was like, I feel like
Real
they
Nazis.
really cast the Nazis well. They have real uniforms.
Mm-hmm. Real uniforms. Yeah,
Okay.
I guess the production the wardrobe person just quote unquote found them. I don't know where he found them from, but you know.
Holy fucking shit. We flew to went to see the Swiss. They just had them lying around. They said they were just there.
So for the rat scenes, over 2,000 rats were bred specifically for that scene to prevent disease.
Fucking gross, dude. Did they
Whoa.
kill all the rats afterwards?
Yeah.
I hope they burnt them all.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say same question to the bugs. What did they do with them after? Does anybody know?
Yeah. It's just funny to think about in Hollywood, just all the other side businesses that a movie production has to pay for.
Right.
It's like,
Hey,
yeah,
who's
we
gonna
need a rat guy.
who's gonna breed
We
these
need
rats
a
for
rat.
us?
Well, we got three guys. We got Ronnie, the rat guy. He's union, really expensive. We got Rat Ricky. He's good, but his rats, they're not super safe. One of them bit Meryl Streep last week. And then we got 1-800 Rat King, which I'm pretty sure he just uses possums. And mice.
Mr. Rat, that's my name. My name again is Mr. Rat.
I'm the Rat King.
Honestly, I hope they gave him to medical colleges and they just gave all those rats cancer.
Whoa!
They did it on purpose, to not have any disease, and then what they immediately did was inject them with diseases. the
Yeah,
second they were done
exactly.
with the movie.
Yep.
Oh, you're no longer the control group. Good luck.
In the dogfight airplane scenes, Connery and Harrison Ford didn't have any pants on because Sean Connery didn't want to get his dick and balls overheated.
So like they had underwear on and they were just naked from the waist down.
I don't know. They were probably just wearing underwear. I don't think they were free balling it, but yeah.
So that's like the Breaking Bad kind of a thing where they're just walking
Yeah.
around. Oh my God.
It's like, it's too fucking hot. I'm taking my pants off. Sean Connery did. And Harrison Ford's like, I'll take my pants off too.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
I'm your age.
Listen, that's a challenge. If Sean
No,
Connery comes
exactly.
out and says, "I'm taking my pants off," you're taking your pants off
Mhm.
too. Otherwise, you're gonna look like a beta male.
Exactly. Exactly. You know that they check both each other out. They scanned one another.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Number
Who's they're working
one,
with.
I mean, every man walks into a room. Can I fight him? Can I fight him? Can I fight him? Can I fight him? In this case, it was like, my dick bigger?
Hey Elsa, take a look at this.
Hey, bro, you dick huge? See this Scottish-eyed monster?
Yeah. Last time my name's Kate. My name isn't Elsa.
Your name's Elsa, and you'll like it. Take a look at
Stop.
my hairy-chested penis.
Stop hitting me. Oh, God. Sean Connery was always the first choice, since Spielberg had an inside joke that Indiana Jones's dad was James Bond.
That's
Yeah.
great. I really think it is great. I agree. I think that
perfect
he's the
casting.
perfect Indiana Jones father, period. Hands down.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like you got a
And
guy. It's like this is a trilogy. Like this is the third movie in a series. The second movie was not good. So, and then you bring in like an aging actor who was like a superstar that isn't anymore and is like kind of difficult to work with. Like you would not think that it would have gone well, but he was fucking perfect in this movie. He nailed every single scene that he was
Oh,
in.
He was
yeah. And I
amazing,
mean,
yeah.
even from a character standpoint, it's like you see him and you're like, oh, of course, Indiana Jones, a man of the world. His father's, he's Scottish. Like it makes sense. You're like, of course. All right. It just works.
Everything about it. Even like when they're in the on that blimp and he's like, we never talked. He's like, let's talk now. What do you want to talk about? And he just gives him like that crazy eye look. Like makes Indy just feel like super uncomfortable. And he's like, I need to go shoot somebody. This is a sad one. The actor who played Marcus was diagnosed with HIV a few months before filming, and then he died of AIDS in 1992.
Oh, that is sad.
Yeah,
Wait, the guy, like the goofy guy?
yeah, Marcus.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Yeah,
Huh.
sad.
If you had to ask me which one of these actors, Indiana Jones, was going to get diagnosed with AIDS, he would be at the very bottom of the list. That's crazy.
It's definitely Sala, number one.
Yeah.
That dude's only thing he's doing is fucking. No condoms.
Indy, I got another one.
Hey, join the pile. Join the pile, my friend. Join.
What's a rubber?
And they start singing that whatever the fucking song he sang in the first movie. It's just like going to town on this girl.
Hi ho, jizz in your face.
Fee, fi, fo, fum, your face is full of cum.
I'm sorry, gentlemen. I have nothing to add to this. I don't know what to say. I'm just enjoying it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Insert Prebble Ground.
Oh, God.
Okay. Last one here. It's just some box office records that this movie broke at the time. So this was the first movie to break $10 million on a single Saturday. It was the highest grossing movie over a weekend, highest grossing movie over 7 days and 12 days, and it also broke the record for the fastest movie to make $100 million, which took 19 days.
Yikes.
And it was the highest grossing movie of 1989.
What did it cost to make, Max?
It cost like $40 million, but it made $474 million.
That's
Wow.
a pretty good return.
Pretty
Does
good
that
return.
include
Pretty
like
solid.
re-releases and everything? I mean, I wouldn't be
Yeah,
surprised.
well,
but
the re-release, I saw that online too. They had a re-release a couple back in like the early 90s, and it was like an extra $100,000 to it. That was it.
oh, interesting.
But it beat out Tim Burton's Batman, which I was surprised by.
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay.
People are racist against bats.
Well, it's weird. So, I mean, in America, Batman was the number one movie, but globally, Indiana Jones finished number one.
Bats
Well,
cause
clearly-
disease in the rest of the world. That's why.
That's caused COVID.
I
Yeah.
was gonna say the rest of the world didn't see the Temple of Doom. Apparently,
Bring on your hate. Bring on your hate, everybody. I can deal with it.
Who wants to see a white director and producer go through a horrible breakup?
All right, time for questions. Who is your favorite and least favorite in this?
My favorite is ping pong. I'm kidding.
Dr. Jones!
Dr. John, Dr. John. I mean,
I'm still in India!
I
No,
feel
you
like-
cheat. You cheat. You know funny. You make me poor.
Why you leave me, Dr. Jones?
Why you not to introduce me to your dad?
Oh my god.
Honestly,
You know why.
Yeah, you know why ping pong.
so
Come
my
on.
favorite. I mean, I feel like this is gonna be everyone's favorite. Sean Connery. It's Dr. Jones Sr. for obvious reasons. I don't even have to get into him. He's just fantastic. My least favorite guy is Donovan. I mean, I just feel like that guy didn't really do a great job acting either, and just all around like the worst
Yeah.
character.
He's a little too soft.
Yeah, exactly. He just seemed like he was
Essentially-
pretty low energy. You know what I mean?
It's actually kind of weird to think about for the Indiana Jones series. There's only one strong villain in the entire.
Yeah, and the first guy, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's not even that strong, but he's at least like brash and arrogant.
No, he's like the yin to the yang of Indy,
Right.
which is great. But then like in the second movie, just like the guy is obviously they try to up the darkness. He's like, oh, he's so sinister, he's so bad, but you don't give a fuck about him.
No.
And then in this, it's just like a fucking rich white dude.
Yeah,
Right.
it's an art
Just talks
collector.
politely to people. Yeah.
It's an art collector who wears a Nazi lapel pin. You know, it's
Doesn't blink enough.
he really definitely doesn't blink enough.
he really doesn't. Well, yeah, I mean, my favorite's going to be Sean Connery, of course. You know, as I said, like you see, it's like, oh, Indy's father's a Scotsman. Of course, it makes perfect sense, and obviously, it's Sean Connery. It's perfect. There's no reason to even go through the details. But my least favorite is the archetype that Indy kind of, in a way, or at least Spielberg bases Indy off of the guy who really tracks him down as a kid when he steals the cross from the illegal dig site.
Oh yeah, the guy gives him his hat.
Yeah, like he had the scar, so he's rough and tumble. He gives him his hat, yeah, you know, and he has the clothes that basically Indy wears and all of that. Cool, but I'm like, dude, why is that the guy that he bases himself off? It just didn't make any sense to me. Hated him. That's all I got.
Yeah. It would have been better if they had casted like an actually famous actor to
Yeah.
play that small role. Only
Yeah.
have him come in for like a week of filming.
Especially since you didn't have Sean Connery filling that role as his, you know, what his true, you know, his big imprint was. Like, of course, like Sean Connery and his father had an imprint on him as a character, but at the same time, he's rough and tumble. Yeah, could have been someone way more hardcore,
Yeah.
famous. Yeah.
It's yeah, you're right. It's a swing and a miss too, because you don't have to worry about how old he is, because Indiana Jones in that is like he's like a 15-year-old kid, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, he could be like 25, like, and he would still be like, older. But oh well. My favorite also, yeah, Sean Connery, and then my least favorite's just gonna be the Temple of Doom.
Oh, good choice, Max. A solid choice.
Well done.
Okay, so just how IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes have their own rating systems, we decided to make our own. So what would you rate this one?
I'll go. Go ahead. Go ahead, John.
No, Tim. Okay, fine. I'll give this, 3 instances of missed premium Yabos out of basically 1 Indiana Jones hat.
I'm gonna go ahead and give this 12 burned books by the Nazis out of 1 missed opportunity to literally fuck Germany in the ass on camera.
Touche.
Let's keep with the sexual stuff. I'm gonna give this 0 child brides out of out of 1 bowl of Christ cup cum.
Yeah, just crusted all on there.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Hundreds of years, layers. It's metamorphic at this point. Fuck. Oh.
You don't want to choose wisely.
Hey,
You're better off choosing poorly.
Hey, count the layers.
Anything else you guys want to talk about as far as this movie goes before we head out of here?
Outside of the movie, new Run the Jewels album is out. Check it out. Great stuff. That's all I got.
Yeah, just get ready for next week, folks. This is gonna be fun. You're gonna hear three Ronin commit seppuku live on podcast.
Can we practice the scream right here? I got it in earlier, but we can still do this. Just a Bunsen Scott, and that.
Next week's episode, by the way, is just gonna be 15 minutes of us just screaming offensive stuff, and then it's just gonna be over.
Yep.
It's just gonna be that scene from fucking what was it? Game of Thrones. Shame.
Shame.
I
thought you were gonna say it was the scene in Game of Thrones where Drago just pours the gold over that dude's head, and just melts him to death.
No, that was too fast of a death, my friend. Yeah. This is going to be a much more drawn out and very torturous affair. This is gonna suck.
Yes, it is. But that does wrap up week 3 of our Indiana Jones movie marathon. If you like the show, rate and review. More importantly, tell your friends about us. We appreciate all the Twitter love we've been getting the last couple of days. And you can also follow the show on all the social medias. Just Google them. It's much easier that way. It's there. And stay tuned for next week. We're going to be wrapping it up with Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull.
And Dan Aykroyd's vodka.
Huh.
Yep.
What happens if you skull fuck Dan Aykroyd's vodka? Does it burn? We'll find out next week. Coming to you.
Another alien dimension.
Holy
that is
shit.
going to be the 15 minutes of audio next week. It's going to be us just fucking a Dan Aykroyd Crystal Skull vodka bomb.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just going to be just and just empty after we have to pound it all just to be able to get through the pain of this movie. Fun fact, it's filtered through diamonds, the vodka that is.
Because that makes sense.
Of course,
That
it's
makes
Dan
perfect
Aykroyd.
sense, and Dan Aykroyd definitely does that. Bye.
Later, guys.
Wow, that was a quick one.
Do things to your face.